Dr. Mindy here, and this is day 5 of Fast Training Week, and we are diving into all aspects of fasts that will improve dopamine and GABA production in your body and make you happier. So if you are new to my channel, I am really excited you're here. Hit the subscribe and notification button. And if you love what you're hearing here in any of my videos, share them out into the world. I am on a mission to get 1 million people here this year and to change chronic disease through fasting. So welcome, and those of you who've been around for a while, so grateful for you. Okay, it's Fast Training Week. It's day 5. So I just want to continue to remind you that Fast Training Week is now sponsored by Element, and they are giving a box away to 5 of my resetters every single day of Fast Training Week. So it's not too late. If you want to win a box of Element, just put companion guide in the comments, and we will make sure that you get a free companion guide that tells you how to enter to win. Okay, there's something really interesting that I do with my Academy members. We do in our toxin reset. I did in my clinic for years when I was seeing patients one-on-one. And that has come up with unique protocols that will help very specific conditions. And I personally love stacking lots of different biohacks to get the body to heal at a faster rate. We call it a multi-therapeutic approach. We definitely have entered into a world where we think we have one problem, one diagnosis, so there's one solution. But when you start to use fasting and building a fasting lifestyle as a tool for healing, I want you to realize that there's often more than one tool you need to put together to be able to get the result that you are looking for. So on this video, I want to talk about what, like if you and I were sitting at a consultation together and you were like, I'm suffering with depression and anxiety, what can I do? What fast can I do? Then I would give you this protocol. Okay, the first concept that is the foundation of this protocol, and a lot of you guys here know this, but for the newbies, is you have to vary your fasts. So the variation that works really well for people with depression and anxiety is a version of a 4-2-1 protocol. Now sit tight for a moment. I don't want to lose you, but 4 days a week, you are going to go 15 hours or longer. You can go longer if you want. You're going to fast 15 hours, and when you eat, you are going to eat a ketobiotic meal. Now, those of you that have been around for a while, you know what ketobiotic is. It is a term I came up with years ago, and it's one of the best foundational ways to eat. If you're new, let me explain what it is. So ketobiotic is keeping your carbohydrates, your net carbs, under 50 grams. So you might have to calculate. We use Carb Manager. That's what we like in our community. You might have Chronometer. You might have another MyFitnessPal. Those are all great. But you're going to keep your carbohydrate load under 50 grams, net carbs. Net means you've taken the fiber out. Okay, then you're going to keep your protein under 50 grams. Now, I encourage you to make sure you're eating clean protein, not toxic-rich protein. So free of hormones, antibiotic-free protein. This is going to be very important. If you're a vegetarian, just make sure that your protein source is clean. Okay, and then the third part of ketobiotic is you're going to eat as much fat as you want. Over 60% of your food that day should come from good fat. The other part of ketobiotic is those net carbs that I explained. We want most of them to come from nature's carbs. So I want you eating more green leafy vegetables. I want you doing the 3 Ps more sauerkrauts. So you want your carbs to come from more vegetables and fruits, not from as many starchy foods like breads and pastas. Even if they're grain-free, I want them to come more from nature's foods. So for 4 days out of the week, you're going to fast for 15 hours, and you're going to follow the principles of ketobiotic. 2 days a week, I want you to stretch your fast to 24 hours. The reason for this is because I want you to reset your gut by using the principles and the studies we know that when you fast 24 hours, you reboot intestinal stem cells in your gut that help repair your gut. So I want you to use that as a tool so that we can get more dopamine and GABA production. Now, if those 2 days you want to do a 48-hour fast, that's also an option. So you can put those 2 days together and do a 48-hour fast. And then 1 day a week, I don't want you to fast and I don't want you to do keto. On this day, I don't want you to eat the standard American diet. I still want you to stay away from those 3 horrible ingredients we've talked about. And I want you to really, on that day, there's no macro counting. I want you to just explore nature's carbs. So the only rule for this day is that it has to have come from nature. The planet Earth had to have grown these foods. And this includes beef and chicken. It includes fish. So if you eat animal meat, then just make sure that you're eating clean animal meat. But there is no processed grains of any kind, even your yummy gluten-free muffin. I want you looking at your food and saying, if it came from the ground, I can eat it. So breads, pastas, cakes, cookies, even if they're organic, even if they're gluten-free, no. You're not eating those on this day. You're going into fruits. If you want 10 bananas, you can have 10 bananas. If you want 5 sweet potatoes, you can have 5 sweet potatoes. But you are leaning into nature's foods on this one feast day. And the purpose behind that is to really help these bacteria grow so that we can bring your dopamine and GABA levels up. So let me repeat that really quick. 4 days a week, you're gonna do 15-hour fast with ketobiotic. 2 days a week, you're gonna do a 24-hour fast. And you'll break that with ketobiotic, or you will do a 48-hour fast and break your 48-hour fast with ketobiotic. And 1 day you are not fasting, but you are not eating any refined flours, sugars. You are doing 100% nature's food. Now, last thing, there are some really cool hacks that you can use in this protocol. So that was just a fasting and food protocol. There are other things you can add in if you really want to amplify happiness. So go back and watch the video I did on my 3 unusual fasts. So make sure, I'll call this the 3 Fs. Make sure you're staying away from the 3 Fs and follow that fast. So go watch that video. If you guys are not familiar with hyperbaric oxygen has a tremendous amount of research showing that it lowers cortisol and increases pregnenolone, which is a precursor to progesterone, which calms you. I also want you to zone in on how do you sleep more. So make sure you're getting good sleep. And then, of course, exercise keeps you happy. Specifically, exercise moving in a forward direction. It calms the brain. So if you take the 4-2-1 and you mix that with those other hacks, I kid you not, you don't need the people around you to behave a certain way. You don't need your circumstances to change. If you change your physiology, I promise you the world around you will change. And those of you that have had that experience with fasting, please leave it in the comments so that people in this community can see that that is true. So there you go. There's our consultation. If you asked me, how do I use a fasting variation to get out of depression and anxiety? That would be a huge step forward in bringing neuroinflammation down of the brain, repairing your microbiome, and getting you more dopamine and GABA. As always, you guys rock. Don't give up on yourself, and know that you were born in a miracle. It's just that nobody's taught you how to access it. So really excited you're here.